beat. Shout out to my man Velo from VCityBeats.com. If you need a beat, then you need to holler at V City Beats. What it do, good people? What it do? Once again, it's on, as Bishop said, in juice. Now, I guess Chicago is going out with a fucking bang. I guess they like shit. I know, nigga, it's less than 8 days away, for less than 8 days left in the year, but damn it, we gonna stay consistent. 13 niggas shot at a memorial for a shot nigga. Like, how the that? What the fuck? So we have a nigga that gets shot, and we having a memorial for that nigga. Then niggas get to arguing, and then 13 niggas get shot at the memorial for the nigga that got shot. Man, look, man, this is just, I just don't know. I don't know what to do. Is my phone dead? Oh no, it's back. Okay. I don't know what to do, man. These niggas have lost their fucking minds. I don't understand. I just don't know what to do, man. I just don't know what to do. I wish that I could just I just wanna just do something to niggas. I mean, it's just there's no recourse. There's nothing we can do. There has to be a purge. That's just what it is. It's like I don't know, man. I don't know. I was listening to some Jim what's that dude name? Jim Crochet. I think that's his name. The Time in the Bottle dude. And I was sitting there listening to it, and I was enjoying it. I just love that song. It's an old school song called Time in the Bottle. And I was just sitting there thinking, and this song just came to me, and it just hit me like, and if I could stop crime in the ghetto, the first thing that I'd like to do is to take an AK and spray in the trap houses that these niggas go to. I just want to get rid of niggas. Man, dude. I just can't believe what the fuck happens to you when you get to the point where you get that mad at a memorial that you gonna say, fuck it, I ain't just gonna leave, but I'm gonna show these motherfuckers what time it is, and I'm gonna let freedom ring from a 9mm from what they did to Rodney King. That's just what these niggas decided to do. So let's dive right in, and first and foremost, I'm gonna sip on this lemonade, and we gonna hear a word from my side chick, my good thing, my forever girl, my wonderful wife. Tell us something about this here USC 107, please.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107.
Lemonade, that cool, refreshing drink. All right, y'all. So here we go. Now, first and foremost, let me give a shout out to my sponsors, the chat. First and foremost, first person in the chat is none other. Oh, the Miss Bell. That's what's happening. Salute to you, ma'am. That's what's up. Give a shout out to Chango, man, Ronald Hot Boy, Ree, Skoha, what up? Madman, Rich, JB, KS785. Don't know what any of that means, but hey, that's what the name is. My man Daquan Smith, what's up? Is that Gunny Sergeant? U.S. Marines retired? Hey, what's happening? Salute to you and thank you for your service, brother. That's what's up. John Nader, what's up? What's up? Lanisha Lewis, hey. Eyes Wide Open 360. That's what's up. Good day to you, sir. Frantonio Michaels. What's up, buddy? Big Timer 24 Gaming. What's up? And hey, Jesse. Hey, Jesse. I wish Tommy was here to sing that. What's happening to my, and shout out to my brother Tommy Sotomayor, wherever you may be, my brother. I hope that you are doing well. And I hope that you're having a good holiday, young weekend that's coming up. I hope you enjoy your holidays, brother. If I don't get to see you or talk to you. Give a shout out to Vicky Meeks. What's up? Thank you for clicking that like. Hit that thumbs up, please. Yep, y'all know what to do. And on its halls, what's happening? Let's see. What else? Who else? Trucker C, what up? What up? And I think that's it. Rashawn, Brandon Storeball, what up? And Sylvester M, what's up, man? All right, let's see who's over here. My faithful few, my proud and the many that's over here. Well, they're not many, but it's still a few. That's what's up. Over on the United Guns of America, I got G Friend. What's up, G Friend? What's up, Katrina Hamilton? What's up, Slim Pimp Body? All right, boy, like in Big Trouble, Little China. Lorenzo Davis, what's happening? And E-Goose is me, and on its halls. Thank you. I appreciate you guys for coming over there, clicking the like, and just supporting the United Guns of America channel. That's my, for those of you who don't know, this is your first time watching, or you just ain't been paying attention, or you just here early. United Guns of America is a gun channel that I have that talks about self-defense, talks about guns. I do gun reviews on it, all kind of stuff like that. I talk about police officer shootings. I talk about good shoots, bad shoots, all that kind of stuff over there. So if you're more of a gun enthusiast and you like guns, you like firearms, you like pro two-way stuff, go on over to United Guns of America and click the subscribe button, and you can check me out when I go live there. So with that being said, let's move on. So for those of you who don't know, I'm going to get it cracking from the top, and let's go back up here, turn that off, and we are going to listen. So wait, why is that up there? Thank you. And there you go. Alrighty, so we gonna go from here, and I'm gonna go ahead and play this here video, and we gonna see how this all unfolds. Let's do this. I can click that off and turn that off, and we gonna want no advertisement going through. We're gonna let this little commercial play on out, because I couldn't get this video isolated like I do most of the time. So we're going to just keep talking. I hope everybody's doing well. They talking about Casper mattresses.
Aaron and Ruby, as multiple victims are being treated here, Chicago police have already charged one person who was at the scene with a gun. But investigators say they are still trying to figure out if that person was one of the shooters. A chaotic scene overnight in Englewood.
767 Charlie, the whole house is going to be a crime scene. The whole house, there's blood everywhere.
13 people were shot. The youngest victim.
Listen to that shit. How often do you hear that? Just how often do you hear that? The whole house is going to be a crime scene. There's blood everywhere. Look at this nigga face. That nigga he's in shock. He's like, God damn, like what is going on? We have just lost our rabbit ass mind, people. This is ridiculous.
16 years old.
I heard the sounds of...
This nigga look like he playing for the New Orleans Saints. He got them damn Saints signs in front of him. Like, where you down in the nose, little brother? That's just wrought iron fencing. It looks nice, though. Yeah, it looks nice. It's painted gold. Alrighty.
People screaming and running from a party down the street.
Chicago police say officers responded after gunshots were detected by a shot spotter after 12:30 this morning on South May Street near West 57th.
Now, for those of you who don't know what a shot spotter is, let me explain it to you. In your urban communities that are high in violence, that have high violence or high crime rates, high crime areas, basically the hoods where it be fucking popping, is cracking. All right, that means there's a lot of shit going down on a consistent basis. It's so much going down that in Chicago they have put up these little like camera pods, and they have cameras on them. It's like a little thing that be on like the corner of a block, and they have cameras on them, and they have microphones. So those microphones can actually pick up gunshots. Those, because gunshots are at certain decibels. They can pick up gunshots, and the camera will know to be in that area to record what's happening. So when you hear shots fired, because the police are a reactionary force, they are not there to prevent crime. They are there to react to crime. They hear gunshots. They have this little pod that will light up, and it's lit up, and it will film the area where the gunshots are, report that gunshots being fired at this area, even before people can call it in. That's what they're talking about. That's what those little pods do. They're all throughout the city, in the hoods where shit is cracking. So no, you won't find one of those over in Evergreen Park. No, you won't find one of those on the Magnificent Mile. No, you won't. But you'll find them in the Wild Hundreds on 103rd. You'll find them up and down 119th. You'll find them all over Englewood. You'll find them on the west side. Whereas if you driving and you visiting an area and you see one of these little white boxes with blue police lights blinking from it, hanging from a street pole, don't stop there unless you hood, because hood shit goes on in that area. That's pretty much what we're saying. So let's continue.
People started to spill out, and as they spilled out, more shots were fired. We saw an individual on the pod.
Now, this guy here, Chief Fred Walker, well, we'll let him go.
Firing. At that time, more shots were fired at another location.
The group of people originally gathered to honor a 22-year-old man who was shot and killed in April while attempting a carjacking in the South Loop. Police say he was shot by the victim, a 41-year-old concealed carry license holder. At some point in the gathering, police say an argument broke out, and that's when the shooting started.
Now, don't get me wrong. You heard that shit right. I'm going to play that back, but that's exactly what the fuck you heard is what they said. Yes, you heard it right. Let's go back.
At some point in the gathering, police say an argument broke out, and that's when a 41-year-old concealed was shot and killed in April while originally gathered to honor a 22-year-old man who was shot and killed in April while attempting a carjacking.
How the fuck are you honoring a man who was shot by attempting a fucking carjacking? I don't know. I mean, I hope that maybe she said this shit wrong. This is my first time watching it with y'all. I hope she said that shit wrong. She said they were gathered because they were honoring a 20-something-year-old man who was gunned down by a concealed carry Pro 2A, there we go, by a concealed carry holder who was getting carjacked. So this young motherfucker was trying to carjack somebody, got killed, and they gathered around together on that day to celebrate that motherfucker's life. How, Sway? Just listen to that. And that's why it's like this whole thing, it's like I'm literally just like talking about this shit because it's my city, and the shit came across my plate, and I just saw all of the fuck shit that was going on. I said, damn, I gotta do this shit. But I don't feel sorry for these niggas. I don't. I'm telling you that right now. I don't feel sorry for these niggas. 13 niggas got shot, got wounded. I get it. But hey, they got shot. Don't think anybody died, but they got shot doing what they love. They really did. These niggas was at a memorial for a nigga that got killed carjacking another man back in April.
In the South Loop, police say he was shot by the victim, a 41-year-old concealed carry license holder.
You heard that? She said the victim. That's the motherfucker who was a concealed carry. Shout out to you, sir, for standing up for your shit. That's what's up.
At some point in the gathering, police say an argument broke out, and that's when the shooting started.
What dispute was it? I mean, what were you arguing about?
This nigga here looked like Muhammad Ali uncle. This motherfucker, he don't look like Muhammad Ali, but he look like he's Muhammad Ali's uncle. And he's literally just a community activist. And what that means, let me tell y'all so y'all won't get this twisted, this just a nigga that show up to all of the fuck shit that go on in the hood. That's all this nigga do. This nigga ain't went to school. He ain't got no degree in community activism. This is a nigga that just show up to all of the shit in the hood. That's it. Motherfucker get shot, he show up. Motherfucker get robbed, he show up. Cameras is there, he's showing the fuck up. That's all he is. He's essentially the new age Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. I just show up to fuck shit and talk about it. That's all I do. That's it. So don't get community activists twisted. This ain't nothing but a nigga to show up. That's all it is. He want to be in the know. That's it. Okay? Andre Holmes.
About, I mean, what did you pull the gun for? I mean, for what? You have no reason.
Earlier today at Canaan Community Church, Mayor Lori Lightfoot told parishioners the city stands.
Boy, I'm going to tell y'all something. Somebody needs to impeach this motherfucking mayor on looks alone. This bitch is making high six figures and look like she just came out of a motherfucking... she just came off the dock in the warehouse. What? Look at her hair. She's the mayor of the city, y'all. And her hair ain't never right. Never, ever right. It's sickening. Jesus Christ. Look at her. Tell me that look, I tell you what. And you can call me, tell me if I'm bullshitting or not. Tell me that you trust that person if that person came up to you to ask you to buy something, was coming to give you some information, or wanted to sell you something. Would you trust that face? Would you really believe like, oh, this person here really looks like they got it together? Yeah, I believe that person. No, you wouldn't. You'd be looking at that nigga like this, like, what you want, ma'am? Sir? Or ma'am? Whichever one you are, what is it that you need? You gonna be looking like, am I gonna have to snap, crackle, and pop on this motherfucker in a couple minutes because they might say some foul shit? But just look at that. Jesus Christ.
With Englewood, just after she visited victims in the hospital.
They're in pain, not just physical pain, and that's true, but emotional pain.
Marciano White is charged with a felony after police searched him at the scene, and they say they found a gun, but no word yet if White was one of the possible shooters.
Safer communities are better communities. We don't want this for our children, not on their Christmas break. I don't want children to remember this as this was their welcome to not on their Christmas break. I don't want children to remember this as this was their
shooters. Safer community at the scene, and they say they found a gun, but no word yet if White was one of the possible shooters.
Safer.
Bitch dressed to the nines. Look like she about to go to the club. That's it. And she an alderman. Now look, aldermen, they pulling down at least about $125 a year. This bitch here dressed to the nines. Weave, fresh Dob hat, matching blue sweater, shaft leather coat, nails and raptor claws is popping, and that motherfucking the mayor who got to be making at least $200,000. I just know it's at least $200,000 to $300,000 easy. It's the city of Shy. This bitch is getting fat ass checks. She can take one of her checks and just get a wardrobe change. Like, look, I'm bringing in queer eye for the straight guy. I'm bringing in every gay person on the north side of Chicago. I'm calling out to all of the boys in Boys Town, come dress me, please. And they give her support. She's a lesbian woman, LGBTQ '(S) exclamation point, question mark. All of y'all need to rally up and go see this bitch at her office and say, look, we're tired of you wearing these clothes that look like you got them out of Goodwill. God damn it, you're the mayor and you should look like one. Jesus Christ. Goddamn alderman showing your ass up. Don't make no sense.
Communities are better communities.
Lipstick and
we don't want this for our children, not on their Christmas break. I don't want children to remember this as this was their welcome to their Christmas holiday.
It's a Christmas holiday. That's what this should be. So if it wasn't Christmas holiday, this would be okay. This is just a regular fucking Saturday night. This would be fine. Bitch, that shouldn't matter. It's gun violence and crime, period. Not period, duh. Period, duh. You see, even she looking like, bitch, what kind of shit is that?
At an earlier news conference, Chicago police said that they had 2 people in question. They did not say if White was one of those 2 individuals. They did say they believe there was more than one shooter and that shots were fired both inside and outside of the home.
That nigga did that shit. People just ain't telling. If he didn't do it, he had something to do with the shit.
home. So multiple crime scenes, multiple witnesses, and multiple victims. Karen, this investigation is certainly going to take quite a bit of time. Reporting live at the University of Chicago Medical Center, Kate Kogiran, ABC 7 Eyewitness.
Shout out to the sister who got her natural hair. Woo-hoo! That's a real perm, y'all. Look at that. That's real. Look at that up in there. That's real permage. Look at her new growth. Hey, I'm telling you right now, I don't care how or what you wearing your natural hair, you get an instant kudos from me. Thank you, ma'am, whoever you are, for wearing your real hair. That's the new movement, the real hair movement. Hashtag real hair. Thank you so much, ma'am, for wearing your real hair. Real hair movement, that's what's up. 2020. Jesus Christ. All right, so now let's go ahead and read this here story real quick. Chicago police have charged one person who they say was at the scene with a gun, with a gun when 13 people were shot at an Englewood home early Sunday. But investigators said they're still trying to figure out if that person was one of the shooters. Marciano White, 37, is facing a charge of unlawful use of a weapon by a felon after police searched him. They probably did scare his ass too. Searched him at the scene. Police couldn't confirm whether White fired any shots during the incident. You know why? It's because niggas ain't telling. Niggas is playing the snitches get stitches. That's exactly why this shit is like that. It's a goddamn shame. Shoot up a goddamn memorial for a nigga that was on some fuck shit. Some fuck shit go down and y'all motherfuckers still ain't thought to say, well, maybe we should stop this shit by talking and telling the goddamn police so at least these motherfuckers get locked up. Chicago police said officers were responding to the 5700 block of South May Street after shot spotter technology alerted them of the shots fired around 12:30 a.m. That's those things I was talking about, the little camera pods or whatever. Shot spotter, that's what they call it. The shooting occurred at the gathering to celebrate the birthday of 22-year-old man who was shot and killed in April while attempting a carjacking the South Loop. They typed that wrong, but I'm gonna say it right. In the South Loop, police said he was shot by a 41-year-old concealed carry license holder who police said was the victim. This shit, man, is I can't take this shit. Who the fuck celebrates that? Jesus. And I get the fact that this is somebody's loved one, that this young man, this 22-year-old dude was somebody's brother, somebody's cousin, somebody's uncle, somebody's son. I get that. But the way that you lived your life, you don't fucking celebrate that shit, man. You just don't. Especially to the tune where you got 59 niggas at your house and some shit go left. Niggas getting shot doing what they love. Jesus Christ. All right, let's go ahead. Let's move on. I'm going to hit this next one up because this one got some coverage too. Here we go. This is the other one here.
News, a mass shooting, more than a dozen hurt.
People screaming and running.
Tonight, an arrest, but there are still many questions. Good evening, I'm Jim Williams. 13 people were shot. Some are in critical condition. We have team coverage, starting with the first person charged. CBS 2's Jeremy Ross joins us from outside the University of Chicago Medical Center with the latest on the victims and the investigation. Jeremy, good evening.
Jim, more than a dozen needing medical attention. At this time, we know of at least 2 of those victims in critical condition, many of them tended to in the hospital building behind me, and the circumstances as well as the people involved starting to become more clear this evening.
767 Charlie, the whole house is going to be a crime scene. The whole house, there's blood everywhere.
People screaming and running. It seemed like there was about 100 police officers running to the scene. So it seemed like it was close.
Terrence Daniele was woken by the gunfire early Sunday morning near 57th and May when the gun violence inside and outside a home here stopped. the ambulance run started. In total, 13 victims were shot. Police announcing charges were filed against 37-year-old Marciano White. White has a history of drug and battery charges. Investigators say he was at Sunday's scene with a gun, and they're in the process of determining his role in the case.
People in that house know what happened, and we would urge them to overcome their fears.
I rest my fucking case. Fred Sanford hair look better than hers. Fuck what you talking about. Fred G. Sanford of Sanford & Sons Salvage hair looks better than hers. Pops from Friday. Hair look like a bunch of spiders on his head having a meeting like Chris Tucker said. Look better than hers. That is not acceptable for a public official who makes high six figures. This bitch got to be pulling down. I'm gonna have to Google that shit and see what the mayor's shit in Chicago make. Look at that shit. And look like she got like some head going into her ear. What the fuck? Or maybe that's a hearing aid. They probably say, you want me to do something to your hair? She like, huh? You want to change your clothes, put something else on, man? Huh? They like, fuck you, man. Let this bitch go out. God damn. Boy. Man.
And come forward with information.
Mayor Lori Lightfoot suggesting some who saw the crime haven't fully cooperated with investigators. Family members say they were gathered in the Englewood home to remember the life of 22-year-old Linnell Irvin. He was shot and killed back on April 26th. Police said Irvin tried to carjack a 41-year-old man at gunpoint. The driver, a concealed carry license holder, shot and killed the 22-year-old. Nearly 8 months after his death, gunfire is again linked with his name, though it is unclear what triggered the recent shooting, injuring more than a dozen, their ages ranging from 16 to 48 years old.
They're devastated, and many of them are still in tremendous amount of pain, recovering from their injuries, but they're also in psychological pain.
The mayor describing this as a cowardly act. The Chicago Police Department describing this as an open and ongoing investigation. We could see additional charges in the hours as well as days ahead. Live outside the University of Chicago Medical Center, Jeremy Ross, CBS 2 News. Jim.
Jeremy, thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate you, Jeremy. Now, I don't understand why, and I saw somebody here ask the question. They were literally like celebrating.
It's here. The biggest and most trusted name in Chicagoland auto dealers is now in Elmhurst. Al Piemonte. Al Piemonte Buick GMC. You'll
motherfucking Tommy right now. There we go. Nailed it. This is not something that they was like, oh, we gonna celebrate man birthday and we gonna. Nope, this was not that. They literally was saying, we getting together because it's Christmas time. Niggas is home from school. Niggas is off work, niggas all this shit, and we gonna have literally a party to just hate in honor of the boy who got shot. What was his name? Man or some shit. I don't fucking know. But that's all they did. That's all they did. Yes, this is the new mayor. So it's like that. Why haven't the National Guard been sent in yet? There's no point sending in the National Guard. This is not like look, let me tell y'all something about the violence in Chicago. I don't know if you may have seen me in other shows where I've talked about this. This issue that's happening in Chicago, it's literally confined to the west side, the south side, which is the Hunnits, and it's the east side. That's where all of the shit goes down. And it's in the communities where it ain't nothing but a bunch of niggas in the ghetto. Englewood, West Pullman, Roseland, all of those areas, that's all it is. This ain't happening all over the city. It ain't happening in downtown. It ain't happening no more than any other city, I should say. It ain't crazy like that. It ain't up north. It ain't on the Gold Coast. It ain't over in High Park. It's not happening everywhere. It ain't happening in Peel Hill. It's only happening in these urban areas. And the reason why it's happening is because they don't have enough resources to lock these niggas up. And then when they do lock niggas up, they letting these young niggas back out on bullshit. Nigga get caught with a gun, nigga get locked up with a gun or some dope. Unless he done killed 5 people, they letting them back out in just a few months. They letting these niggas out. These niggas is doing a year, and they back out on the streets. That's all they doing. It's a revolving door. So that's why them areas are steadily cracking. And you know what's happening? Why those areas are steady? Why is motherfuckers steady dying, steady getting shot? Only thing that's happening that they really looking out for is the property value to go down. And it is. Them houses in them areas are shit. And they want them to go down to shit. Why? So they can buy low, sell high. That's it. They want to get these niggas out of the city. That's all it is, man. And they don't care about niggas. And the reason why they don't care about niggas is because we don't care about niggas. We don't care about each other. That's why this shit goes down like this. That's why it's so many people that die. Little girls get shot. Little boys get shot. Little girl get shot on her birthday. All that shit is going to keep happening until we start doing something about us. That's our problem. Because just like the mayor said, we trying to talk and need to talk to them and find out what's going on. And these niggas ain't saying shit. Why? Because they want to go and commit even more violence. We gonna get their ass. Don't trip. We ain't got nothing to say. I don't know who did it. I don't know. I know, but I ain't gonna say because I ain't no motherfucking snitch, Joe. That's what these niggas is doing. And that's why they was celebrating a dumbass nigga that got shot carjacking another motherfucker. And thank God that that dude had his concealed carry. Because he probably would have got fucking killed. And they probably would have been celebrating that man's life who was actually a law-abiding citizen than this fuck nigga that was doing some fuck shit and got killed trying to do it. See how that works? Do you see how that works? These niggas are so, and that just goes to show you how you can't feel sorry for these niggas. You can't feel like, oh, they just don't have a chance and they don't have resources. These niggas are so stupid that they felt the need to get together to honor a motherfucker that died trying to take some shit from another motherfucker. Thank you, $216,000. Exactly. And her hair looking like that. But that's my point. Imagine the type of person that would get together to do that. That's just like Charles Manson's family getting together to have a memorial for him. I get the fact that he's your loved one. I get the fact that that person, you know, is related to y'all and all that. But the life that that person led does not need to be celebrated like that. You don't celebrate a motherfucker who lived like that because it's pretty. I would bet my fucking mortgage. I bet my house that it's some little kids in there wearing some t-shirts talking about rest in peace. Whatever that little nigga name was, and they gonna follow in his footsteps because they see the amount of attention that dude is getting. How he died? Carjacking somebody? Well, I'm gonna do that shit too. Shit, I'm gonna represent for him too. Shit's insane, and we feel sorry for that? No way, but they do. Unbelievable.
We had an incident where there was a party at that address. Inside, there was a dispute where shots were fired inside, several shots. The people started to spill out, and I'm going from what I saw on the pod video now. People started to spill out, and as they spilled out, more shots were fired. We saw an individual on the pod firing. At that time, more shots were fired at another location. So we have about 3 scenes of different shell casings and different scenes where people shot, but it was right there in that location and stemming from that party. We have, at this time, 13 victims ranging in the age from 16 to about 48 years old. We have about 4 of them are critical. The others are stable with different and various gunshot wounds to their bodies. This is an isolated incident. This incident stemmed from a dispute within that party. And this party was given in the memorial of a subject that was slain in April. We're still developing details as far as that goes. Shots were fired within the residence, which caused everyone to start to leave the residence and run out. Once they exited the residence, One of the people we believe who exited that residence also, once he got outside, began to fire at people as they left the residence.
Wow.
And then a vehicle.
So basically what he said was these niggas got to arguing. They got to arguing. They got to shooting inside. This nigga ran out. And then the niggas, of course, because once you start shooting, niggas scatter like roaches. Once they started to come out of the house, this nigga was shooting at them. Wow. Is that his arm candy? No, that's not his arm candy. That's the alderman of that ward.
Was driving down the street. One of the people.
Basically, for those of you who don't know, so the city is broken up and is divided up by what they call wards. And pretty much what the alderman is, they're like the mayor of that area. They all report to the mayor of the city, but they are like the mayor of that little area that they're voted into. They are essentially the first line of just local politicians. Local government is the first line of defense, the first go-to person is the alderman. That's essentially, and then the alderman takes whatever it is to the mayor. The person who gets resources allocated to your area or in your ward basically is the alderman. The alderman goes to the mayor decides what happens based on the city budget and the resources that they have to allocate to that particular alderman or to that particular alderman's ward.
Also who left the residence fired upon this vehicle. So we had 3 different scenes, all within a close proximity, but where shell cases were found in 3 different locations. And looking at the pod video, you can see pretty clearly how 3 different incidents of someone firing a weapon in 3 different locations. As we always say, too many weapons, too many disputes that are reconciled by weapons, as this was. Just too many weapons on the street. The police, we still recover a lot of weapons and still recovering a lot of weapons, even though it's December. And we're recovering the same type of amount of weapons that we would be recovering during the summertime. So just so many weapons on the street.
So here's my thing. So many weapons on the street. That doesn't matter. And here's why. If there were no guns, you know what this would have been? 13 stabbed at a memorial. Plain and simple. The problem with this is, and what a lot of people, and this is why I hate those liberal people that talk about getting rid of guns, is that's the solution to our problem. It's not the guns, it's the people. Because if these people were locked up in jail, if these people had harsher sentences when they got caught with illegal weapons, then they wouldn't be out to do the shit that they do. This would have been, if there were no guns, this would have been a stabbing. If there was no knives, this would have been a beating with bricks and sticks or whatever the case may be. It would have been a hammering. It doesn't matter. It's not the tool, it's the person that is wielding it. That's exactly what this problem is. This is not a gun problem. This is a people problem. You have people doing fuck shit. Excuse me. Essentially, that's all it is. This is not about, oh, well, if they didn't have guns, this wouldn't have happened. Nobody even died in this scenario. You have 13 wounded people. That's not the gun. It's the people. That's all this is. This has nothing to do with, oh, it's too many guns on the street. If it wasn't guns, it would be some other weapon. So it's not a gun problem. It's a people problem. You had people at this party from the ages of 16 to 48. And you mean to tell me ain't nobody in that whole fucking age group, in that whole fucking age span, out of all those people got enough fucking sense to stop this shit? No, that's not a gun thing. That's a people thing. Plain and simple. It's a fucking people problem. There is a problem with the ghettos in these inner cities all across the country. It ain't just Chicago. It's Detroit. It's LA. It's Florida. It's New Orleans. It's Texas. It's everywhere. Memphis. It's everywhere. This is not a thing about saying, well, if there wasn't guns, this wouldn't happen. Bullshit. Case in point, look at France. Look at China. Motherfuckers over there getting starved all the time. Plenty of videos where you can see a motherfucker in China taking out a fucking butcher knife and going to work on random people. Random stabbings. Dude stabbed 22 people. Dude stabbed 8 people at a bus stop. That ain't got shit to do with saying, oh, so what, we gonna get rid of all the knives? You can't cut shit no more? I would like to slice this ham for Christmas, y'all, but due to the knife ban, sorry, we can't. So let's just all pass it around and take bites. This is asinine. You say Chicago's not in the top 10, it's not even in the top 10 anymore. The whole thing about being the murder capital of the world, being the number one for gun violence, it's all relative. And the shit will continue to change. The thing that you need to look at is that all of this shit that happens, where you have high concentrated pockets of gun violence, it's all in these motherfucking Democrat-ran cities that have the strictest fucking gun laws, coincidentally. That's something to look at. That's a consistent characteristic of all of these places. That's what you need to look at. Look at Baltimore. Look at New York. Crime and gun violence ain't budging. It's either going up or it's tapering down. It goes up and down. It fluctuates constantly. But the point is that the main thing that's consistent is that it's in areas where it's where it's like a lot of gun laws, and where there are Democrats. And I'm not saying that the Democrats are responsible, but I'm saying is the Democrats are responsible for the legislation. I'm saying that the Democrats are the ones that are steady trying to take guns away from law-abiding citizens as opposed to addressing the gun violence problem in these inner cities. That means that these inner cities, these hoods, the ghettos, they need law enforcement resources. Plain and simple. You put more cops on the street and you have these judges start locking these motherfuckers up that's committing these fucking crimes, bam, that's your ass right there. That's how you change the shit. That's how you change it. You need to figure out how to put as opposed to saying we need to get rid of guns, you get rid of guns tomorrow. That don't mean the criminals gonna turn in their fucking guns, does it? No. Who got to turn in their guns? Law-abiding citizens. So that man, that 41-year-old man who was able to defend himself by shooting off and warding off, fighting off his assailant that was trying to take his fucking car, that's the guy that you want to have locked up. Because he got a gun. That's the gun you want to take. You want to take the gun out of his hand so that 22-year-old motherfucker can just come up and he robbed me with an illegal gun. The fuck difference does that make? He shot me and killed me with an illegal gun. Really? It makes no sense. Got one more to show you, and then we're going to get on up out of here. Look who it is. I got to come up with a name for this motherfucker.
Good morning, everyone. I think you're all aware of the mass shooting that took.
From right now, I'm gonna start calling this motherfucker the dude. Y'all know who the dude is? That's Quincy Jones' little logo. The dude.
Place overnight in the Englewood neighborhood. It's a terrible tragedy, and frankly, an incredible act of cowardice. People were gathered in commemoration on the anniversary of a birth of someone who was killed earlier this year. There are people here from Chicago, but also from out of state. A lot of women and young people that were inside of the house. An incident happened inside, and then the shooting continued outside. People in that house know what happened.
You know what, Billy Goat? No, who said that? I'm sorry, that wasn't Billy Goat. Who said that she looked like a zombie? I didn't see that. Oh, John Nothing. She don't look quite like a zombie. Let's just say if there was like an epidemic or some type of outbreak and it took like 4 days in order to be converted into that zombie, she looked like she on like day 2.5. That's what she got, like right before the eyes get bloodshot red and the skin starts to like crack and get all nasty. She got like that day 2 picture. That's like when the doctors come in and they still quite don't know what it is yet, and they still checking her out, and they saying like, hey, we still got to try to figure this thing out. She has all of these different symptoms. We just don't know what it is yet. I mean, it could literally just be still, the common flu or something. We don't know yet. And then 2 days later, she turned into this zombie and wind up biting the motherfucker. This is before she go into pre-stasis. This is like a day, this is like in the next 24 hours, she gonna go into stasis and go wake up a zombie. That's exactly how she looks. She look like she's in mid-zombie conversion.
And we would urge them to overcome their fears and come forward with information so that the police can.
They don't have any fears. And this is the politics of this shit. Because she's not addressing the elephant in the room. And that was one of the things I liked about Johnson. Eddie Johnson told the fucking truth. Truth. He told the fucking truth about this shit because he was the one that always said, we got police officers and detectives on the scene working this crime, and we have the very people who are victims of it and involved in it, or who saw it and were witnesses to it, not saying anything. They literally are not cooperating with the police. That's what the fuck she needs to be saying. These people ain't scared. They are literally adopting to and upholding that hood shit. They believing in that the snitches get stitches. We handle this shit ourselves. Fuck that. We ain't gonna tell the police nothing. They ain't gonna do shit no way. That's literally what they doing, and she not calling that shit out. That's bullshit. And that's why people don't give a fuck about the niggas that die in the hood. That's why you don't see Black Lives Matter here, do you? Because they got tired of this shit. Father Flagler wasn't even on scene. He just made a statement. And he'd love to bring his motherfucking ass out. But it's too cold for Father Flagler to come out. He don't do that in the summertime. But it's like, I get it. Niggas are tired of this shit. And I'm not saying niggas, I'm just saying people are tired of this shit. You got a resource, you got people that can help you stop the motherfuckers that's doing it, but y'all won't even help them. What sense does that make? You're not going to tell the police, okay, are you going to at least police yourselves? Nope.
Do their job in tracking down the people who are responsible for this terrible act of cowardice. You can provide information anonymously on this department's anonymous tip line, which is cpdtips.com, and we'd urge people to do so. We can't normalize this kind of behavior and tragedy in our city. It is significant, and we're going to make sure that we use every resource possible to track down those people who are responsible. But what I'd say again is a call upon the people that were inside, who have information about what happened, to step up and let their faith overcome their fear. That is the only way that we're going to bring down violence across our city, is if people come together and step up and say that
it's not across our city. It's in these goddamn hoods. It's not where people, it's because you go over into the better neighborhoods or the white neighborhoods or the affluent neighborhoods in the city, they telling. Officer, he was here, he had on a blue shirt, black khakis, and he had a red and blue hat on. He was running down the street, he had a pelly jacket on, and he was carrying, it looks like a 9mm Smith & Wesson. That's what it looked like, that's what I saw. And the other neighbors like, yep, that's pretty much what I got too. I'm willing to give you my Ring doorbell footage. I'll give you the footage that I have from my house and my cameras and all the rest of the neighbors in the neighborhood watch. We're putting together a whole entire collection of all of our video that we collect on our devices, and we're going to submit that to you guys so we can help you do whatever you need to do to catch this son of a bitch. Because this is our neighborhood, and we're not going to let a bunch of fucking ignorant people, assholes, niggas, whatever you want to call them, take over our neighborhood. My kids play here, goddammit. That's what the affluent neighborhoods, people in affluent neighborhoods do. I can't tell you how many people in my neighborhood, they got that little, what is it called, neighborhood alert shit. Neighborhood Watch, whatever the hell it is. But it's an app. And everybody talks about everything. And it's in like a fucking 20-mile, 15-mile radius or something of where I'm at. Everybody reports everything. I seen a fox. I heard gunshots. It sounded like fireworks. I went outside to check, and definitely it was, just to let everybody know. There was this man walking around and looked in my car. Here's a picture of him. I saw this guy walking down the street. I didn't know who the fuck he was, but I just wanted to let everybody know to keep your eyes open. That's because people give a shit about where they live. Just saying. What's the difference? None. Niggas can do the same exact thing. Niggas got an internet. Although half of them probably shouldn't or have to fill out an application to get it, but everybody got internet. Get you some Ring doorbells. Get you some security cameras and put them up or some shit so when you see this fuck shit happening, you can at least assist the police. Talk about this shit in the neighborhood. Y'all know that was Tyrone that was driving that car that was shooting at Ronald's house. Y'all know that was him. I got the video with his license plates.
They're not going to tolerate this kind of bloodshed at any time of the year, particularly in the holiday season. I'm happy to take any questions that you have.
Why did you decide that it was important enough for
Ooh, did y'all see that? That goes up for this zombie bitch, boy. God damn. My God of Zion, boy. What was that camera fucker?
Happy to take any questions that you have.
why did you decide?
Particularly in the holiday season.
Jesus Christ.
I'm happy to take any questions.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, I do come out. I mean, it may not be something that draws a lot of media attention, but I do try to reach out to families who've been the victims of violence. But in this circumstance, I did decide it was important for me to come out as mayor. I want to support the efforts of people in the neighborhood. I want to thank the efforts of the street intervention folks.
I need to
CRED,
crank up my
and the
volume.
Institute
Is that a
for,
little bit better?
Nonviolence. But I think it's also
Better
important
yet.
for me as the mayor to make sure that we're stating very clearly that this kind of violence is just simply not going to be tolerated.
Let me know if
in our
that's
city.
better.
You mentioned people from out of state, Mayor. Are those any of the people that you visited inside?
He look like he's scared, don't he?
Well, I don't want to give any specifics about the people that I saw inside, but this is a horrible tragedy, and the people who have been most personally affected by it are traumatized by the experience. And we're going to make sure that we provide them with support and resources. UC Hospital in particular has a whole protocol for victims of gun violence. They provide a significant amount of support.
Bro, this ain't no they woke up, she mad they woke up. This how she always look. You can look at her, you go to her house at 6 o'clock in the evening on Christmas Day. That's what you gonna get right there.
And that support structure is in place here. And I commend the university for the work that they've done in recognizing that they need to do more than simply minister to the physical wounds, but also the emotional wounds that come with gun violence.
Mayor, you spoke to the victims, some of them. Are you saying that some are afraid to talk, or they just don't know what happened when you address speaking up and talking about what happened? Are you talking to victims as well?
Now here's an opportunity for her to tell it and call it like it is, to essentially keep the shit 100. Watch what she do.
Well, I think it's a little of both, right? You know, in a chaotic scene, when something happens and then shots are fired, it's chaos. And so some people may not know exactly what happened, but somebody inside that room knows exactly who the shooters were, and we need them to step forward and provide that information.
What can you tell us about meeting with the victims? What
Well, they're devastated, and many of them are still in tremendous amount of pain, recovering from their injuries, but they're also in psych.
Who the fuck wouldn't be? Nigga, I get shot with a 4.5 or a 9mm. I would imagine that there would be some discomfort in my recovery. Like, people ask and say some of the dumbest things as opposed to just thinking about what it is, like they're saying. Jesus Christ. JB says, I teach 7th grade at an urban school, and my kids are quick to say they aren't a snitch. It starts early. JB, it's the environment. It's like when you have people that live by a certain culture, a certain creed, and a certain code, and everybody around you is doing the same thing, no matter if it's positive or if it's negative, it becomes your norm. It becomes that dysfunction that you in, and I always keep saying this, you will learn how to function in your dysfunction when that's all you know. That's it. Everybody talking about snitches get stitches. Everybody been talking about that for years. And people don't know what a snitch is. People don't understand what a snitch is. I did this before in another video. Let me explain to y'all the difference between a snitch and a witness. A snitch is a person who commits crime and then tells on others that commit crime. A witness is a person who sees some fuck shit happen and they tell the police. So if I'm a snitch, then that means that, let's just say I sell drugs. And my partners and everybody else that I'm around with, we all a bunch of drug dealers and we sell drugs. I.e. Frank, whatchamacallit, not Frank White, but what's the dude name? Goddamn Denzel Washington played Frank, whatever. I can't even think of his last name now. But anyway, that person gets caught by the police. Frank Lucas, thank you, sir. Frank Lucas get caught by the police, biggest drug dealer in all of Harlem, supplying all the motherfuckers with good heroin. He gets caught by the police as a heroin dealer. Then he starts to work with the police and tell the police all the other people that was selling drugs with him and selling drugs from him. That, sir, is a snitch. Okay? However, I see Frank Lucas selling drugs. I see Frank Lucas killing the people in my own community, killing my own kind. He's an idolater. That's what he is. And I tell the police, I'm a fucking witness. I'm a fucking upstanding citizen. That's what I am. I'm a person who gives a shit about his people and the community. I am not a snitch. I did not commit the crime that this motherfucker was committing. Even mobsters know that. A snitch or a rat is a motherfucker that is doing the same shit that you were doing and then gets caught. And because he's caught, which is the only reason why he's telling, is because he got caught and he wants lesser time. That's it. That's all. That's the difference, you dumb fucks. So stop saying he's snitching. If he ain't doing what you doing, he is not a snitch. He is a witness. That's it. I don't know how niggas got this shit confused and fucked up, but I'm telling you that. That's street code, G code, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a snitch if I'm not doing what the fuck you doing, and the only reason why I'm telling is because I'm caught by the police and I want a lesser sentence. That's it. Jesus Christ. I'm so tired of niggas saying that shit. Tekashi 6ix9ine was doing the shit they was doing. Yes, he's a snitch. He's a mean one. He's a snitch. He told on his folks. The feds, they came a-knocking, and his knees got to rocking. He's a snitch. Yes. He gave them first-hand knowledge of all the fuck shit they was doing and said, I was doing it too, Your Honor. His dumb ass trying to get lesser time. That's it. And my thing is this. You don't have to, a snitch a witness don't have to be a hoe ass nigga. A witness don't have to be a scary motherfucker. A witness can shoot a motherfucker that's trying to fuck with him or her. Let me see some fuck shit going on in my neighborhood. I'm telling. And I hope a motherfucker come looking for me. Now, if it's the cartel or some shit like that, I ain't telling. I ain't gonna tell on that Mexican cartel. Them motherfuckers, I ain't gonna tell on them. I'm gonna keep my motherfucking mouth shut and hope they just give me a money bag to keep my mouth shut. That's all I'm gonna say. To any of my cartel people, if y'all see this, if I see some fuck shit, I ain't gonna say nothing. Just give me a bag and we good. That's it. I ain't gonna tell. I ain't gonna point out or none of that shit. Just let me get a bag with about 500 racks in it, and I'll never say another word. I won't. I keep my mouth shut. I promise you that. All right? Now, all this gang banging and dope slanging shit on my block, I ain't standing for that. My baby got to live and got to play outside now. But if it's the cartel, mum's the word.
Psychological pain and a lot of trauma that's in there. That's why I'm grateful for the support that UFC is going to be providing to those victims.
That cartel, boy, that cartel give you the express bus to the afterlife. Boom, boom. You know the little things they put on the bus to get off the little bus. Boom, boom. That's what you doing. You hopping right on that bus to the afterlife. I don't want no parts of that. I want to live. And they got enough money to where I can forget everything. Police can come, lock me up. I'll be fine. I'll do my time. Well, you said that. Nope, I didn't say that. Well, if you don't tell us, then we're going to hold you and arrest you for obstruction. I'll do my time. Thank you, sir. Yes. Because when I get out, it's going to be a bad. You can't lock me up forever, motherfucker. That's what I'm going to tell the police. You don't tell us, Mr. Redmond, and we're going to lock you up and throw the book at you for obstruction. Where's the book, sir? Where is it? You won't hit me in my chest. Just don't hit me in my face. You throw the book at me. I'm going to try to dodge it. I'm going to try to dodge it. Hopefully the cartel will give me a good lawyer, but I ain't telling you shit. That's exactly what I'm going to tell them. Lawyer. That's what I'm going to say. Mr. Redmond, you said that we saw you standing there watching it. We see it on the camera. We see you watching Mr. Cortez shoot the other person. I didn't see that. Now, you watch all this camera footage all you want. If R. Kelly can say it ain't him, then goddamn it, I can say that ain't me. Now, what's next? Your Honor, can I please be excused? I am about to go home and eat me some fajitas and tamales. That's exactly what I'm going to tell them.
Well, we're coming for you. We're not going to tolerate this.
That cameraman ain't
We're going
shit.
to use every resource that we can to track down the people that were responsible for it. But I also want to speak to our young people. Solving disputes with a gun.
Hey, man. Yes, I will tell on some niggas doing some fuck shit in my community. I ain't telling on the cartel. I ain't talking about no white folks. The white folks, that's, I ain't tripping. White folks don't do this type of shit. The cartel, that's the Mexicans. I ain't telling on them. Nope. No way. I'm in Texas too. Boy, them niggas hop over this border, fuck me up and my family up, and hop right back over on the other side of that border. Nope. Yep. Whatever you say you want to call me that. Yep. I ain't no, unless some Mexicans doing some fuck shit on my block, I ain't got nothing to say. Nope. I don't know. Mom's the word. That's right.
Is never the right answer under any circumstances. Now, I know a lot of young people feel like they are at risk if they don't carry a gun. I'm telling them they're at risk if they do. They're at risk for what could happen to them, what can happen to the people who become the victims. When you fire a weapon, you are committing lifelong trauma, not just to yourself, but to everyone who's affected. Never the right answer. Under any circumstance, we're going to use every resource that we can to track down the people that were responsible for it. But I also want to speak to our young people. Solving disputes with a gun is never never the right answer. Under any
Bullshit, Alado. That's some bullshit. That right there, what she just said, is a bald face, hair fucked up, eyes look like I'm a bank robber or the Hamburglar ass lie. That's a lie. She lying through her teeth and she's selling you a bunch of fucking wolf tickets.
Circumstances. Now, I know a lot of young people feel like they are at risk if they don't carry a gun.
Yes, you are at risk if you don't carry a gun. You are at risk of being a fucking victim to a motherfucker that does have a gun, or that does have a knife, or if it's 10 of them, or if it's 3 of them, or if it's 2 of them. Anybody that's outnumbering you, that is physically bigger than you, that has a weapon and you don't, yes, you are putting yourself at risk. Because this bitch right here just got out of that black SUV and it's about 5 or 6 motherfucking police officers around her right now. I'm sick of these fucking politicians talking this bullshit about how you don't need guns and all they do is travel with motherfuckers that got guns. What the fuck kind of shit is that? It makes no sense. And it lets you know that they're fucking lying to you, people. They are literally lying to you and they literally don't give a flying fuck about you. Bitch just got out of a fucking SUV with an armed security detail. Do you people understand that there are fucking police officers around this bitch 24/7? Who the fuck or when the fuck have you heard of somebody trying to shoot the mayor of any fucking city? I'll wait. When was the last time you heard of a mayor being shot down in the fucking city? Well, maybe down in Juarez, they probably would shoot a mayor. They shot a sheriff. I shot the sheriff down when he was in Juarez. Hoo, hoo, hoo. But you ain't never heard of no mayor getting shot at. You ain't never heard of no mayor getting in a fucking scuffle. You haven't even heard of a mayor being in a fucking physical altercation. A mayor ain't even got stole on before. But yet and still, these motherfuckers travel around 24/7 with a fucking bunch of police officers that we pay they fucking salary. These motherfuckers making $70,000, $80,000 fucking $1,000 a year to ride around with this fucked up head bitch. And even when this bitch is sleeping, it's a fucking security detail outside of her fucking home. Facts. Police are sitting in a car right outside this bitch house 24/7. Try to walk up and ring that bitch doorbell and see what happened to your motherfucking ass. But she telling you, you don't need guns. Guns ain't never the answer. Put yours down, bitch. Let me see the law where you and your alderman can't carry firearms no more because y'all trust in the city. Fuck out my face. I hate that shit. That's the same bullshit that them assholes in DC keep trying to tell y'all. Y'all don't need guns. And they got guns. They live in communities that are gated and there's a motherfucker at the door with a gun. They the motherfuckers that walk around with Secret Service and other government law enforcement agencies that have guns that protect their ass 24/7. They fly on fucking private jets, private fucking helicopters with motherfuckers who got guns 24/7. But you don't need none. They all have fucking licenses to carry a fucking gun in their job, in their office, on the bench, anywhere that they fucking go, anywhere that they fucking work. They have the right to carry a gun, but they steady telling you, you fucking don't. Or we need to tell you which ones you get to carry. You gotta be out your goddamn mind if you think that that makes any kind of sense for somebody to tell you what you don't need when they got the shit they damn self.
Telling them they're at risk if they do. They're at risk for what can happen to them, what can happen to the people who become the victims. When you fire a weapon, you are committing lifelong trauma, not just to yourself, but to everyone who's affected by gun.
I'd rather fire my gun and go to counseling to get through my lifelong trauma than to be dead and have my family going to counseling trying to deal with their lifelong trauma. I'm going to say that again. I'd rather fire my gun and kill a motherfucker who's trying to fuck with me or my family and live with the lifelong tragedy and go to counseling for it than for me to die because I don't carry a gun, because I didn't have a weapon to defend myself, because I couldn't protect my family, and I got to live with, or my family has to live with, me being dead. Or I have to live with and go through counseling with the trauma that I suffered because my family member is dead. Let me deal with that lifelong shit with my gun in my hand, than for my family to have to deal with this lifelong shit with me being dead because I couldn't have a gun in my hand.
Gun violence. We've got to teach our young people never to pick up guns in the first instance.
It's like that lady that delayed cussing that was fucking with Tommy. Need to watch how you talking about guns and shit. Bitch. That shit was hilarious.
Because they are going to commit lifelong harm to themselves and everyone else who suffers at the tip of a gun.
People you mentioned from out of state, did they come in?
I'm not going to get into the number of people that I met today. I'm again out of courtesy to them, but I did talk to a number of victims and family members.
You mentioned people from out of state. Do you understand that as they came to Chicago specifically for this memorial?
I don't know that to be the case, but I know there are some people from out of state who were affected.
Also, we're looking at a very violent weekend overall. 35 people shot in the city. These are numbers we usually see in the summer. With changes going on with the police department, do you feel that
it doesn't have anything to do with the changes that are going on with the police department. They have an enormous amount of resources that are out on the street. They've adjusted the times of the deployments. I think the weather might be a factor, meaning it's warmer. This is kind of October-like weather.
Do you hear what this bitch is saying? And even the chief, he said the same thing. They expect niggas to not commit as many crimes because it's cold outside. They're using that as an excuse as to why there's such a high amount of violence in this area at this time of year, because it's not as cold outside as it normally is. That in itself should be an insult to everybody in that fucking neighborhood, to everybody in this fucking city. Because if you think that the weather is an excuse or is a factor in crime in my area, then we have a bigger problem. Because now you're saying that, oh, well, because it's warmer, more people gonna die in your neighborhood. And that's okay. Oh, well, just don't worry, because next month it'll be colder, so then won't as many people die. Yeah, you know, when it gets below zero, you know, in your neighborhood, you know, the only thing you have to worry about now is just, you know, MAGA hat people coming around, and white guys in MAGA hats coming around and putting ropes around your neck and pouring bleach on you. That's all you got to worry about then. Other than that, you guys should be pretty good. It's 22 below zero. Seriously. So I guess from now on, when the weatherman come on TV, hey, it's gonna be hot, you niggas better watch the fuck out. Hey, it's gonna be 92 degrees this weekend, you niggas better put your vest on. Up, temperature's gonna be in the high 80s, niggas gonna die. Oh, hey, we got a cold front coming in, so should be safe for you to let your kids come out. Temperature should be in the low 30s. A lot of people died over the weekend. Guess it was a scorcher. It's going to be 102 degrees today. Stay inside and watch your ass. Temperatures are going to reach the high to mid 90s over the weekend, and it is a holiday, so be looking for the body count to go up this weekend. There should be approximately 30 to 40 people that will be getting shot this weekend. Do what you can to make sure you're not one of them. Have a good weekend. Back to you guys. It's fucking ridiculous. But you see how they think about you. You see the fact that they're that comfortable saying that shit to you about your people in your own community. And y'all voted for this bitch. She's okay with it. The fucking chief is okay with it. They're okay with using the weather as an excuse for higher gun violence in your community. They're okay with it. Not talking about the fact that it happened, but the fact that they're mentioning it means that they understand it. And they don't see it as a problem. Where I live, I don't have to worry about shit getting worse because it's a nicer day. I wonder why. In the hood, you gotta look at the weather to factor that shit in as part of your fucking life expectancy, as part of your fucking safety. Damn, getting more resources allocated to your neighborhood. Damn, locking up the motherfuckers that's constantly committing these crimes. Damn, kicking in these doors of these fucking trap houses and locking these niggas up. Damn, watching these niggas that's standing here on the corner that ain't doing shit but selling drugs, locking them motherfuckers up. Damn that shit. Let's just keep an eye on the weather, hope for the best. You do the same.
Department understands that. They were prepared this weekend. This is just a tragedy because of it was indoors and it spilled out into the street. When you start,
damn, that motherfucker like Blair Underwood mama. That's Blair Underwood mama right there. Lori Underwood, the mayor of he said look like Blair Underwood strung out.
firing inside, horrible things are going to happen. When you fire anytime, horrible things are going to happen, but particularly inside. That's why it's really important that the people who know who the shooters were to provide information. As I said before, they can do that anonymously. There's lots of ways to make that happen, but we are not going to spare any resource to track down the people who are responsible for this and bring them to justice. One of the victims inside specifically said to me, I just want to know who did this. I want to make sure that they are brought to justice, and that is a commitment that we are making. We are going to do everything that we can to identify the shooters and bring them to justice.
What would you say the response was from the victims who encountered? Are they grateful for you to be there? Did they feel like we...
Look, I think they're still in trauma. Some of them had a lot of extensive medical attention, and they're in great pain, both physically and also emotionally. I was just grateful for the opportunity to be there. Yes.
You footed the zone previously, Labor Day, Memorial Day. What plans are you looking at right now to kind of address this violence that obviously we've seen enough of?
Well, way before this weekend, we're focused on making sure that we finish the year strong. And so we have a lot of resources that are out in areas that we know over the last few weeks in particular. And we also look over year and multiple years to show where the trends are. So the department's been deploying its resources accordingly. This was something that luckily we were nearby. The police department was nearby, so they were able to get to the scene relatively quickly. We've got some of the details that are captured on video, and we're going to be aggressively working to make sure that we identify the people who are responsible. And, you know, they were checking calls with local commanders, deputy chiefs who are responsible for areas to make sure that their deployments are in the right places. But this is a kind of nimble calibration that has to happen because you deploy resources based upon trends that you're seeing immediately, trends that you're seeing historically, but then something like this happens and you got to recalibrate.
She just fucking lied again. So she said that, and here's Here's how she's covering her ass. Cause I can call this bullshit because I know this for a fact. So what she says is that based on crime trends, that's how you deploy resources. Basically saying if you have a particular area that has high crime, what do? If you're the mayor, you talk to the police chief, you talk to that superintendent or whoever the fuck it is, or whatever area it is, and you determine how many police officers go there. That's how that shit goes. Everybody and they fucking mama know Englewood is a fucking war zone. Everybody and they mama know that Roseland, know that West Pullman, know that the west side of Chicago and the east side of Chicago are fucking war zones. Here's the kicker. You can actually pinpoint these war zones because they are in concentrated pockets. It's not like it's 500 blocks of just fuck shit happening. No, these shits is going down in like 20 to 30 block radiuses in the city. Very concentrated areas. So this bitch and the fucking superintendent and all of the fucking chiefs and all of the fucking aldermen, they all know how much fucking crime is going on in their neighborhoods. This bitch and the fucking chief, they determine how many units, how many officers, how many squads, how many special teams get deployed to those areas. They determine that. That's not then we go back to the drawing board and we recalibrate. Bullshit. I have 52 people shot in fucking Englewood. I'm gonna dispatch 30 fucking officers, 18 cars, and 2 fucking tactical teams to that area. That's what this bitch has the power to do. That's a fact. I'm gonna take 10 officers from fucking the Magnificent Mile, and I'm gonna dispatch those motherfuckers over here. That's how they do that. I'm gonna get this drug team, and I'm gonna send that drug team over into this area. That's how they do that. Well, we already have a drug team. Well, now you got 2, motherfucker. Get this shit off the streets. That's how that shit works in the city of Chicago. I don't know about these other fucking cities, but I know that in the city of Chicago. That mayor, those aldermen, those police chiefs, those superintendents, all of that fucking brass, them gold medal wearing motherfuckers, they can get together and say, this area is hot. Let's get some cops over here. Let's get some detectives over here. Let's get some tactical special units over here. And they got the money to do it. Don't believe that they fucking don't. They're fucking lying because they don't give a shit. Because you motherfuckers allowed them to not give a shit. All these motherfucking politicians do when it comes to the black neighborhoods, they go to one spot and one spot only. They go into the church, they stand up with the preacher, make some kind of bullshit back end deal with that motherfucker, and then they say, yeah, y'all vote for her, and everybody go vote for them like some dumbasses. This bitch know how fucking fucked up Englewood is. This bitch knows that fucking West Pullman is fucked up. This bitch knows that fucking Roseland is fucked up. She fucking knows it. The stats prove it because it ain't something that just happened overnight. It's been statistically proven for years where the hot areas of Chicago is. How the fuck do I know? Now, the people that's in here that's from Chicago, tell me if I'm lying. I'm telling you, this shit is all a fucking game. And the bad part is that they playing with your lives with it. Chicago ain't a war zone. It's the areas in Chicago that are war zones. You go downtown, it's beautiful. It's amazing, especially right now. Take your ass down to Magnificent Mile. You will have a fucking ball. You go down there with a little bit of money, and you will have a great time. Restaurants, events. It's all kind of shit happening downtown. The place is lit up with a billion lights. Goddamn 100-foot tall fucking Christmas tree. It's the most wonderful time of the year. They having a ball down there. Chicago and Christmas go hand in hand. I'm telling you, this is not this ain't no new shit. Yes, it goes back to Mayor Daley. Daily knew what the fuck was going on. So did fucking Nine Fingers. Rahm Emanuel knew that shit too. They don't give a fuck, people, because y'all not making them give a fuck. She's lying her ass off talking about we gotta recalibrate. Bitch, you knew what was going on.
Calibration that has to happen because deployments are in the right places. But this is a kind of nimble calibration that has to happen because you deploy resources based upon trends that you're seeing.
And the trend that's been going on in them neighborhoods have been going on there at least 10 years. I'm being nice. I'm being nice by saying 10 years. In all actuality, these trends have been happening for at least 20 years. Since 1999, it's been cracking in these areas. I shit you not. I shit you not, people. Where I live in West Pullman, in the Rosen area, I lived there. Grew up in that shit. Knew the motherfuckers who was doing the greater majority of that fuck shit.
Immediately trends that you're seeing historically, but then something like this happens and you got to recalibrate.
No updates at this time. We're still exploring both of those suspects.
So are they suspects now? Because I know earlier.
Well, I'd say persons of interest.
Good morning, everyone. I think you're all aware.
And that's the end of that. But that bitch do look like she Blair Underwood grandmama. I said, oh Lord, that's Blair Underwood grandmama, man. Charlie Murphy! Let me tell y'all, man, we have got to get to a point to where the bullshit stops, because we will vote your ass in, we will vote your ass out. When you get to that point, when you got that type of strength and that type of leverage in your communities, where you can pull motherfuckers in and out that you want, then you have something to stand on. When you have a type of neighborhood to where you making money and y'all paying taxes and y'all taking care of the shit that y'all living in, then you actually have a leg to stand on. You have leverage now. That's all that it comes down to. We got to start taking better care of us if we want better shit for us. That's all. The prisons and all that shit, you have to make, you talking about the prisons, getting this in the prison, it's all a part of the game. That's all it is. You just need to learn the rules and play the motherfucker so that you can win. There will always be people that will commit crimes. There will always be poverty-stricken motherfucking people. Always, no matter what. It's everywhere. There will always be haves and have-nots. You don't have to have as many if you know how to play the game. Being financially responsible, being able to actually vote people in and out of office that serve your agenda and your people best is where you need to get to. Making your own neighborhood safe first. Stop expecting a motherfucker who don't give a shit about you to give a shit about you. Nobody's gonna help somebody who's not helping themselves. Nobody is gonna do something for you that you're not even attempting to do for yourself. You want to talk about how do you fix it? You fix it by starting to help yourself and stop letting your nephews, your cousins, your brothers, your uncles do the fuck shit that's being done in your own neighborhood to your own people. That's how you start. Stop standing for the fuck shit and the debauchery that's going on in your own neighborhood, because it's only affecting you. Your cousin that's shooting everybody, eventually somebody gonna come around and not necessarily shoot your cousin, but they gonna shoot somebody else that ain't even involved. That's called collateral damage. It happens. Every bullet that's fired from every gun ain't gonna always hit the person it's supposed to. It's just not. Every drug that's being sold ain't just gonna go to the people that just want to do drugs. Some people gonna get hooked on the shit, trying some shit because they in a bad situation, or they want to party, or they want to impress a bitch, or they want to impress a nigga, or they want to have some fun. The thing is not to allow it in your community. You want that shit, you better go to the very depths of hell to go get it, because we ain't gonna tolerate it here. Instead, we are the very depths of hell. All of the fucking rejects, all of the fucking people that want the worst shit in the world come where to get it? Our hood. All the runaway white girls that don't nobody want no more, or she done fell out with her parents and she want to go piss her parents off, where she go? To the hood. You riding around at 2 o'clock in the morning, want to score some crack, man. Where do you go? To the hood. It's an epidemic, and it ain't gonna get better until we start making a change in each other. Until we start holding each other accountable. Stop standing for the fuck shit and start standing up for the right shit. That's what it is. That's how it's supposed to be. Because if you don't, you're going to get played just like they playing you. Because right now, that bitch is asleep and she got her security detail outside. She ain't got to worry about no niggas coming up in her house. She ain't got to worry about no niggas arguing outside on her front lawn. That's all I'm saying. Billy Go said, what about the guys that screwed up trying to make it right that can't get a pass? What do you mean can't get a pass? I don't understand what the pass is. But that's all I'm saying, man. We have to start doing better for ourselves. We have to start expecting better. We have to start holding each other accountable. When you see some fuck shit going on in your neighborhood, why would you allow somebody to sell drugs in your building, in your house, on your block, next door, upstairs, downstairs from where you live? Because you know what comes along with drug dealing? Gang violence, gang shooting, opposition, theft, robbery. The same niggas that's gonna rob that's gonna be in your neighborhood looking to buy drugs, gonna be the same motherfuckers that's gonna be in your neighborhood robbing motherfuckers so that they can go give the money to the drug dealer and get the stuff to the drug dealer. Yep, that's very true. Just the lack of financial responsibility, financial literacy. I'm a victim of it myself. The greater majority of my life, terrible with money because I just didn't know. Past few years of my life, I have a thirst for learning how to be more financially responsible so that I can impart it to my child. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to be able to give to her. Financial responsibility. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. Let me go ahead and get up out of here. We're a little bit over an hour. We're about an hour and 30 minutes? Yeah. Hour and 30 minutes, hour and 40 minutes. Let me go ahead and end this. I want to give a shout out to the people that have donated. If you're watching this on the replay, please click the thumbs up. Click the donate button. That's what's up. Let's see here. Oh, that's right. I got a few of these. Yeah. Give a shout out to my man Brass Man Taker. Always donate. Hit your boy off with $6. Thank you, sir. Also want to give a shout out to my man T Walker 1906. Shout out to you. Thank you, Tori Walker. Hit your boy off with $20. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. That's what's up. Showing some love. And also to my man Brassman Taker, hit your boy off with $2 as well. That's what's up, man. Hey, I appreciate you guys donating, man, and just giving a little brother a little change to let him know, hey, he doing some shit that's helping somebody. That's what's up. Let's see who else hit the PayPal. Anybody over there? And we gonna get it on up. What is this? I guess I'll do that. That should work. Nope. Oh, right. They made me change that password. That's what it was. Yeah. My PayPal made me change my password for whatever reason. All right, for sure. Here we go. And I should just be able to hit this guy and be in, right? Yep. There we go. All right. Also want to give a shout out to Vicky Meeks. Thank you for your $2. Hit your boy up with $2. I appreciate that. And I think that's it. Thank you guys so much. Please click the like button. Please click the subscribe button if this is your first time checking me out. I appreciate everything that you guys have done. I appreciate you guys always supporting. Shout out to my brother DJ Just J. Shout out to my brother Tommy Sotomayor. And shout out to the coldest nation in the world, and that's Soto Nation. I thank you guys so much. I am Brian Redmond. I hope that this video helps somebody become a better version of themselves. And as always, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Pro 2A all day. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. I love y'all. Have a good Christmas. And you know what? I am coming up on my 3-year relationship rehab anniversary. Ain't that some shit? This Christmas. So I will definitely be doing a show at some point on Christmas Day, or I might even do it on Christmas Eve. Well, I got a lot of shit to do on Christmas Eve. Getting ready. But either Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, I'm definitely going to be doing a show because that's the anniversary, and I'm looking forward to it. You guys don't know how much this means to me. It is literally a joy, an honor, and a privilege to be able to be here with you guys. I love y'all. Peace. And I'm out. Can you talk about the ups shoot out where? What the fuck did you just say? That UPS shootout where police killed the UPS guy? Send it to me. I haven't seen that. So Electric, send that to me. I'll check it out. And if it's worthy, we can talk about it. There ain't no problem. Next year, it's gonna be big. Thank you guys so much. And damn, did my stream just stop and just start back up? I guess it did. Alrighty, but let me go ahead and get on up out of here. I love y'all. Thank you guys so much. Peace. And I'm out. And everybody on United Guns of America, please click the like button, click subscribe, and leave your comments. Thank you guys so much for leaving your comments. I do read them. I appreciate them. And I just want to say thank you for that. And if you got something that you need, you want me to take a look at, a question you want to ask me, send me an email. You can email me at therelationshiprehab@gmail.com. And you can also email me at ugoa1791 at gmail.com as well. Thank you guys. Peace and out.